Baruch Hashem, yesterday we were talking about a very important concept to reach the truth, to find the inner truth inside of ourselves, and this is something very important. A lot of people, they want to reach out to the truth, they want to understand how to serve Hashem, they want to commit themselves to Hashem, and they don't know how to do it. And then they're going and trying to reach out to rabbis or to teachers, coaches, whatever, people that are claiming to hold the truth. And so those souls, those people try to imitate, to become like those rabbis, like those guides, like those teachers, and they're not able to find the truth of their own souls through that effort. And after 1 year, 2 years of being religious and trying to work on yourself and improving yourself and learning some Torah and mitzvot and halachot and rules and re-educating yourself through a new teacher, a new list of guidings and advice and obligations, you find yourself even more lost and disconnected from your soul. And it's a very, very dangerous, fragile, sensitive process of a person to become spiritual, really to connect himself to the roots of his soul, to his real spiritual being. And we need to understand that we need people that have responsibilities, people that have the power to guide and to teach people. They need to put their mind into that responsibility that we have for our followers, and we must give them the tools to really connect themselves to the roots of their own souls, and not just to imitate rabbis and to become religious and if it's not going to give you the right answer, if it's not going to answer your questions, if it's not going to bring you to your inner connection to the Creator, so it's not right. So yesterday we were talking about it a little bit, and I wanted to make it a little bit even clearer today, hopefully. I said yesterday that a person, he is not really afraid when he's confronting fears or stress or angers, so he's not really confronting the enemies that he imagined to himself that are about to attack him. If it's diseases, sicknesses, weaknesses, poverty, physical enemies, people, thieves, murderers, rapists, I don't know what. All of those enemies that he's afraid of are not really the ones that he is afraid of. Just he really afraid of the fear itself. Now, if I would put him in a situation that he's now standing in front of a thief, he wouldn't be so scared as he is sitting alone at night thinking about that thief that might come. With a thief, he would know exactly what to do. He would fight with him. He would struggle with him. He would throw things. He would do something. But the fear is paralyzing him, and he can sit terrified, frozen in his house, in his living room. Like I gave that example. You're afraid not to have the money to pay the electricity bill. It's not that you're afraid to sit in darkness. You can turn off the light right now and not to use the electricity for the next couple of days, and it will not going to harm you. It's not going to hurt you. You're not really afraid of the fact that you will not going to have electricity. You're afraid of that feeling inside of you that maybe I really cannot bring money, maybe Hashem will not going to help me. You're afraid of those thoughts and you're afraid of dealing with those fears. So this is why you're making sure to pay the bills on time and to have enough money and never to stuck without money and always to know and to make sure and all of the guarantees that because you don't want to, you're afraid of that feeling of your lack of trust in Hashem. So that's your enemy. Your enemy is your fear and not the enemy itself. And then yesterday night, Hashem Yitbarach, that is so kind, and He's using me to help you, and how I'm going to tell you my secret. Who is a wise person? The one that got an experience in life. If you want to develop your business and you want to consult with a professional, so you're going to go talk to a person that opened few businesses in his life and he made a lot of money, and with him you're going to consult. You're not going to go and consult with a homeless on how to buy a house, right? It's a bankrupt person. You're not going to go and ask him what he suggests you to do. That's not what you do. You go and ask a person with shalom bayit, with peace in his house, how he is succeeding, pleasing and making his wife happy. You're not going to go to a divorced person and ask advice on shalom bayit. For sure, he's not the right one for that. So, if I'm begging to Hashem Yitbarach all of the time to give me the right answer, like it's written on Shlomo HaMelech, that Shlomo HaMelech, the King Shlomo, he was asking Hashem Yitbarach, please give me wisdom that I will have the ability to judge your people with justice. That I will have the wisdom to know how to judge them right. So, because that Shlomo HaMelech asked from Hashem Yitbarach to have that merit to help the people, so Hashem Yitbarach gave him wisdom that was beyond the people level in that generation. He was the wisest person of all of people in his generation. Why? Because he asked it for a purpose, to help the children. So, similar to him, I'm asking to Hashem Yitbarach all of the time to teach me what to teach, give me the wisdom. So, because that I need to have the experience in life, so Hashem is shooting me on daily basis to the depths of darkness to understand what's the right advice, how to climb up from those depths. So every day you see me smiling and shining in the morning, and then I have all day long to go down, and then to heal myself at night, and then to come back again shiny in the morning with a new advice for you for tomorrow. So Hashem is helping me every night to go into the depths of my soul, to confront my biggest fears, my biggest shames, my biggest insultings, my biggest difficulties, that I will come up with the advice and not to give up in those tests and not to back off from those fears and to learn how to deal with those, that I'm going to come up tomorrow morning with a good advice, chizuk for you. Oh, such amazing lesson. Thank you, Arav. So inspiring. And you can never imagine what happens with me from 1 o'clock when I finish the class here until I'm coming again at 12 tomorrow to give you the next one. You can never believe how much a person can go through in 24 hours. So Hashem Yitbarach is very kind to help. And yesterday night, he helped me to realize something very deep. That really, all of our memories from the past are just a bunch of lies that we're afraid of, or that we desire to come back to, but they don't hold in reality. let's say that your mother, she was hugging you when you were a kid. So now you miss that feeling of your mother hugging you as a child. So now you want, I don't know, your wife to hug you. You want every woman in the street to hug you. You miss your father's support when you were 7, 12, 13 years old. One time he was home and he hugged you. And so now you're looking for some strong, powerful men to stand by your side and to guide you and to give. So then you're going to go and going to try to idolize every rabbi and every tutor and every rich person. And it's all a lie. There's no connection between that hug of your father to you when you were 14 to what that you are now consuming, demanding, looking to achieve. It's like it's two separate things. So, and we're always counting on our memories. We're leaning on our past all of the time. You want to succeed, you want to enjoy, you want to be satisfied, you want to be happy. And what is happiness for you? And you're going to say, I remember once I was happy. It was in a beach party in Hawaii. Another person is going to say, I finished Masechet Brachot and I was very satisfied. So now he will always going to yearn Masechet Brachot or Lahavdil or from the other side, a beach party in Hawaii. And even if you're going to find yourself now finishing Masechet Brachot, it's not promising you the same happiness that you felt last time finishing Masechet Brachot. So stop yearning to finish Masechet Brachot all of the time. That's not the answer to your thirst, to your sorrow. Don't look for those parties again and again and again, because they will not going to bring you to that awesome feeling of happiness, of freedom, of excitement that you felt in that beach party. You can find yourself today crying, frustrated, breaking your head to the walls in a beach party. And it's not going to make you happy. You're going to feel lost. You can finish Masechet Brachot today and to say, what's the use? Well, it haven't brought me nowhere. So like I told you, the way to fix it is only to serve Hashem Yitbarach in the present, in the now. And then you will not gonna base your thoughts and your desires and your will on lies, on fake imaginations. So in every situation, now you stand in a situation and you feel fear, you feel anger, you feel frustration, you feel sadness, you feel desire. You need to ask yourself, am I with Hashem now? If I'm with Hashem and I feel that that's the will of Hashem and it's going to make me happy and that's my goal, go do that. But if you see that it's just a fake imagination that based on your past experience, so you must avoid receiving this pleasure. And if you see that this thing even is threatening you and you're afraid, if you feel that now it's Hashem Yitbarach threatening you, so deal with Hashem. But if you feel that this fear is based not on Hashem threatening your life, just you are based on memories, why that you're going to think that every person that walks in the middle of the night is a murderer? You're walking in that street also now in the middle of the night, and so you should be suspected as a potential murderer? You're not a murderer, you're just walking to your house, and yes, it's the middle of the night. You're allowed to walk in the middle of everything's okay. Why are you afraid of murderers in the middle of the night? Because of horror movies that you saw, because of horrible news that you read, because of horrific imaginations that you have in your mind, thinking again and again, what can happen to me? What can happen to me? What can happen to me? So you're not afraid of the night. The night cannot harm you. You're not afraid of that person. That person might be a very good person. Your enemy is your thoughts that are based on your past experience. And you're not being realistic at all. Means you're lying, you based your thoughts now on lies and not the truth. So Hashem cannot help you because you're lying to yourself right now, being afraid of your own imaginations. So Hashem cannot help you because you are rejecting Hashem Yitbarach by lying to yourself like you have an enemy. And you're lying. And while you're lying, you cannot be with Hashem. The only way to be with Hashem is really to be with Hashem. And Hashem Yitbarach's name, the Creator's name, is Havaya Baruch Hu. He is the Creator in the present. He's creating the reality with you now. So if you really want to be with Hashem, with the Creator, so you need to remind yourself, Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, that you need to see only Hashem Yitbarach in front of you always. And now, let's visualize it. Let's put it in front of our eyes. Now you're standing in the middle of the night. It's dark outside, no light in that dark street, and there is a big person walking toward you. And you, let's now say, the positive way. We'll use that advice. Let's try now to bring Hashem Yitbarach into the picture. What are you telling yourself? Hashem, I'm in your hands. Now, you're not going to feel no fear anymore. That giant is walking toward you. And he's holding something that looks sharp in his hand. And you don't know what's going on. That's how it seems to you. If you're just going to stop that crazy wheel of thoughts, that crazy roller coaster of thoughts, crazy giant wheel that breaks your mind into pieces. He will stab you, he will kill you, he will hit you, he will throw you, he will rape you, he will kidnap you, he will harm you, you're not going to see your children, he's going to hurt. Stop. Relax. All of this wild craziness. And say to Hashem Yitbarach, Hashem, I'm with you. Can someone hurt me? That person, he's got the ability to hurt me. Am I really now, if I'm in your hand, vulnerable? That person really can touch me if you're going to decide that no one will touch me? The answer is no. So now in that moment, even if you will not going to feel 100% confidence, even if you will not going to be healed 100% from all of your fears, you will be able to function. You will not going to lose your mind. You will not going to fall to anxiety. You will be able to keep on walking and breathing and thinking right and relaxing yourself and controlling your actions and deciding what to do with yourself. And you will not going to lose your mind. You will not going to have a heart attack in the middle of the street, in the middle of the night with no enemies. You're just going to deal with this situation. And now you got that bill. And now the city hall is demanding something from you. And now I don't know what, you're facing some reality. If you will not going to base your thoughts on your fears from the past, your fake emotions that you're counting, and you're just going to deal with reality. Hashem, thank you for this letter. Let me see what can I do with this letter. Hashem, can someone really hurt me if I'm going to read this letter? No. So I can breathe while reading this letter. I don't need to be crazy. Now you can open the envelope. Now you can take out the letter and breathe. Hashem, you're with me, reading the letter. In 99.9% of the situations, it won't be as terrified as you thought that it would be. And in that 1% in that one situation that you will feel the stress coming again, if you will continue breathing and ask Hashem Yitbarach for the right advice, okay, Hashem Yitbarach, let me see, what am I doing? So now I need to respond to that letter. Now I need to go and to talk to that clerk. Now I need to see how I'm going to commit those payments, how I'm going to pay. There is always a solution. There is a normal, sane, healthy, logic solution to every problem if you're not losing your mind. The way not to lose your mind is to bring Hashem Yitbarach into the picture. Just breathe and relax. The word neshama, soul, is similar to the word neshima, breathing. When you're breathing, you let the light of your soul shine through you. When you're breathing, and then your lungs, that it's re'ot, they can lir'ot, ro'ot, they can see. You can see clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Yes, you can see it clearly. That what? That the clouds spread, went away, that the rain is gone, that you can see the light of your soul, that is your connection to the Creator by breathing, having patience, having faith in the Creator. And then you can pray to Hashem and to bring down bounty, to bring down miracles, to bring down salvation to that 1% of the cases that you really need a salvation. To those situations, you can bring Hashem Yitbarach through prayer, through faith, trust in Him, counting on Him, thinking about Him, thinking how He can help me in my situation. If you will focus in Hashem, if you will bring Hashem Yitbarach into your life, you will not gonna suffer 99.9 of the situations. That's what it calls nullifying yourself to Hashem. That's complete faith. That in every situation you can see Hashem. And okay, every one of us, me, I will say, I'm not holding that level. This is why we're talking about it, because we're not holding it. This is why you need to go down. Like we said, that Bob Marley said, that you cannot understand how strong you are until you reach that point that to be strong is the only option you have. Only when to be strong is the only way for you to survive, then you're going to learn how strong you are, how powerful you are. We have stories on people that made miracles, children that made wonders, that got superpowers. There was a woman that her husband, he was a farmer, and all of the you call this tractor, like machresha, machresha, that plow machine fell on her husband, and it's only her and him standing in the field. And she ran to save her husband. And it's a 4 tons weight, 5-10 tons. And she took it and she's lifting it. She's not thinking. She's just taking it off her husband's feet, body. And so many miracles like those. People just ran into the fire and saving people from the fire and coming out. And hey, nothing happened to you? No. How? No one can answer. Lifting huge stones, boulders above, and children also made those miracles. It just, when you are completely nullified to reality, to the present, so Hashem can reveal His light into you. Like we hear about Yaakov Aveeno. Yaakov Aveeno, he's coming, he sees the well, and he sees there's a huge stone blocking the water, and the shepherds, they cannot water the herds. And he is facing reality. So he's just removing this stone and he moves on in life and he doesn't think about it. So we're going to idolize Yaakov, and no, you don't know who you're talking about. This is Yaakov Aveeno. From an apple tree, only apples will grow. And you are an apple tree. You're an apple from the same tree. You're one of the children, great-grandchildren of Yaakov Aveeno. What do you want from yourself? You also have those powers. You also have a soul. So that sweetness of that apple tree can reveal in you also. Just you need to become like your ancestors. What it means, you need to live with Hashem. When Moshe Rabbeinu is facing the sea and there is no solution, he knows what can happen. Hashem can help me. And in God, he trusts in Hashem. Hashem, please give us a salvation, help us, redeem us. And that's it. And the sea doesn't have the power to block the path of the holy nation of Israel from crossing it. Who is the sea in the hand of the Creator? Nothing. The creation. Clay, water. What's that water? Here, you can take the cup and move it from one. The Creator can move the sea, to separate the sea to 12 lanes. No problem. It's in the hands of the Creator to do. So when you nullify yourself to the Creator, you can let the Creator express Himself through you, and then you become to be a man of God. And silly people will idolize you and gonna say, wow, look at him, he's divine. He's just forgetting how divine they are. How exactly like you they are. There's no difference between me and you. No difference. We made of the same clay, made of the same earth. We have the same part of soul. Different, but the same. You have a house, I have a house. You have a soul, I have a soul. The question is, if you know how to fix your house, and if you know how to set your soul inside of your body. That's the only question. You have a wonderful house. In the potential, it can be a palace, it can be amazing. The question is, if you know how to organize your time, how to work in front of all of your obligations. Okay, so it's going to take you 2 weeks to set up the house. Great, but in 2 weeks you're going to have an awesome house, fantastic house. It depends on how much you're going to work on that house. And you can neglect your house and say, yeah, it's a ruin. And then it's going to be a ruin. And it all depends on your decision, in how much effort, how much blood, how much sweat, how much will you're going to put into that house. And you can make that house a pearl, a diamond, the crown itself. The house of Hashem, you can make it. Hashem is saying, the Creator is saying to each and every one of us, Asur li mishkan v'shachanti betocham. Build a mishkan for me inside of yourselves. And I'm going to live inside of you. V'shachanti betocham. And I'm going to live inside of you. You know what it means that Hashem is alive inside of you? You don't need an iPhone to talk. You don't need a pen to write. You don't need an office. You don't need a car. You have Hashem. When the Baba Sali, the huge righteous man, when the Abir Yaakov, he needed a ride, so he had his carpet to take him. When Moshe Rabbeinu needed to cross the sea, so the water ran away to the sides for him. When Rav Mordechai Sharabi needed to bless that woman to have children, so he just said, you will have children. Yulach banim. That's it, it was enough. Why? Because he had Hashem with him. And that's it. When you have Hashem, so Hashem is good for everything. Tov Hashem lakol. What is blocking you from making those wonders? Your faith. That's it. That's the only thing. That is the only thing that is blocking the salvation from revealing in your life. Hashem doesn't have no problem to create a human being. You want children? Hashem can give you children. How Hashem Yitbarach created Avraham? How Hashem Yitbarach created Adam HaRishon, first man? How Hashem Yitbarach is create? Hashem can create. How was Yitzchak born from Avraham and Sarah? Maybe you don't believe the stories from the Bible. I can show you stories from today. There's no problem. Oh, an 80 years old woman in Tibet, she gave children, gave birth to 3 children. Okay. Oh no, in Tibet. What's the connection between what's the connection to the distance? No, in Tibet it can happen. Why? Why in Tibet it can happen and to you it cannot happen? Why to Sarah Imenu it could have happened and to you it cannot happen? Why? Because of the generation? What's the connection? It's written. The Torah is testifying that Sarah Imenu, she didn't have period anymore. She was not able to give children, to give birth anymore. The Torah is testifying on it. That Avraham Aveeno was too old to be with his wife. He wasn't able to function sexually. Put it down into words. He was not able to be with his wife. What do you want? Reality. The Torah is testifying. We're not making up stories. He was 99 years old. What do you want from him? Rabbi Yosef Karo was 100 years old when his wife gave birth to his son. And that son was the son that helped him to complete the amazing book Shulchan Aruch. He was 100 years old. He was 100 years old, Rabbi Yosef Karo. I thought only Avraham Avinu was able to have children. Oh no, Rabbi Yosef Karo also. Okay. Suddenly 3,000 years doesn't make a change. But 800 years from today to Rabbi Yosef Karo, no, that's a big change. 500 years, I'm sorry. No, it's a different generation. What? 3,000 years from Avraham to Rabbi Yosef Karo doesn't make a change. But the last 500 years from Rabbi Yosef Karo till today, oh, no, it's impossible. It's impossible because you don't walk with Hashem like Rabbi Yosef Karo was walking with Hashem. Hashem, He's got all of the powers. And that's where the discussion finished. If you have faith in Hashem Yitbarach, you don't need to count on the patterns, on your old memories, on your old emotions, on your old feelings. You need to take control on yourself and to control your spirit. Like we said yesterday, Moshel Berucho Miloked Ir, take over your fears, take over power on all of your fears, control yourself, and decide, I'm going to be a man of God. A man of God is a man that walks with God. And then you're going to make wonders. And go save Am Yisrael. Go redeem the world. Believe in your powers. You don't need no blessings of no one. You have the source of blessings inside of you. It's your inner connection to the Creator that created heaven and earth, the sea, the deserts, the trees, the fruits, food, all kinds of animal, all kinds of species, angel, demons, everything He created, the weather, the clouds, the skies, the stars, this galaxy, the other galaxies. You never saw Star Wars? What's going on with you? You know Hashem, how great He is. You need to watch more Star Wars. May the Force be with you.